Hello, it's Catherine. We're back. Minecraft? No. But honestly, it's been 5 months. Y'all forgot about me. I can do whatever I want. So, today, we are talking about something that has been bothering me. Basically, since I started taking art classes, or AP art classes, I guess you could say. And it got on my nerves a lot today, specifically because my friend sent me a TikTok that directly relates to it, and she was like, she sent me a TikTok and she was like, this is the only good one I've seen, and I hadn't seen any of them. And basically the trend is that people are like posting their AP portfolios, okay, which is fine. I don't care. Show off your work. This painting right here, that one went viral on TikTok. I don't care. Go crazy. But this kind of grasps on to a deeper issue I have with like teenage artists and kind of just artists in general. Let me explain what AP art is. So the AP test at the end of the year for AP art, whether it's 2D, 3D, or drawing, is a 15-piece concentration. And a concentration, for those of you who don't know, is just a series of related works that are like combined with a concentration statement. Because I don't really want to post anyone else's TikToks if I'm like talking bad about them, because why would I? I'll just post my TikTok. So, my TikTok is playing right now, and so my statement for this was something along the lines of, in my concentration, I compared the relationships that one has in their childhood versus teenage relationships, right? So, I did this concentration because I like drawing two people. Like, in sophomore year, my concentration was this one. It was of theater plays, because I was in theater when I did that, and I did them like focusing on different emotions. Yes, so I have done two concentrations. I almost did one this year with this type of stuff, but I didn't want to because I was a senior and I just wanted to leave. Have left now. I'm actually graduating tomorrow. Tomorrow's my graduation day. Kind of excited. Anyways, that's off topic. So, what I wanted to talk about is concentrations. Because my sophomore year going into AP art, I was incredibly confused. Nothing was made clear to me at all. And as I continued that class, I learned what a concentration was. And there's a lot of factors that go into it, because 15 pieces is a lot. And I know I didn't really have to deal with the stress of it because something is like weird in my brain that I can do stuff really fast, but I know a lot of my friends were like super stressed about getting all their stuff done. And that's like, yes, there's so much. Like, so basically, that means your concentration statement has to be tight. It has to be good. Like, because you choose it, I think, probably like halfway through the first semester, and then you have to run with that for the rest of the year. So it has to be something that you're passionate about, and it has to be something that you can make work about. And that is so important. And yeah, so I was super passionate about relationships and like drawing like emotions and like stuff like that. I don't take art super seriously. This is a drawing of my friend in a bathroom with a pig. I don't take it super seriously, but this gets on my nerves. So, I was at work tonight. It was really slow, and so I made this little book about everything that was frustrating me about these TikToks. Basically, the main thing was like the art, it's whatever. I don't care if the technique isn't good. They're high schoolers, okay? I do get to talk about them now since I'm not in high school anymore. Sorry about it. They're high schoolers. I don't care if the art isn't good. I don't care. But I do care about this concentration and the concentration statement, because that is not entirely on the artist. The concentration statement, the art teachers help you a lot with that. Like, they help you refine it and they help you choose a good one in the first place. And some of the statements these kids were choosing, my art teachers would never let us do them. And the main one I saw, where if you go into this like sound that all these TikToks are under, the main one is mental illness. And that's what this video is about, is using mental illness as an AP art concentration. So, the first point I want to make is, first thing we learn about a concentration is that there is a fine line between a concentration statement that's too broad and one that's too narrow. So to say your concentration was emotions would be too broad, but to say your concentration was like laughing, that would be too narrow, okay? So you have to find the middle. So my middle was this one. It was the emotions within like theater plays. So it was kind of in the middle. Like it was still a range of emotions, but it was like confined to the specific setting. The broad versus narrow. Mental illnesses is so broad. Like imagine if that, like, just for comparison's sake, imagine if that was like physical ailments, okay? That could be anything from a mosquito bite, like cancer, okay? That's a lot. Like in mental illnesses, it's the same thing. That's a lot of stuff to cover. That is way too broad. The fact that mental illness is such a broad topic, but is so common, especially for teenagers to make art about, is why it's just like the basis for all of the issues I have. One of the people that had mental illnesses as their concentration, there were a lot. One of the people, their first works were like anxiety and depression, you know, like common things that teenagers deal with, common like mental illnesses teenagers deal with. And then towards the end, it was like bipolar disorder, dissociative identity disorder is fine. Again, teenagers can have that. But then when we get to a painting of someone with dementia, no teenager has dementia, okay? That would be an anomaly, all right? So my point with this is a lot of things, because basically that means that these 15 works saying they're all different mental illnesses, and maybe just like literally just for example, maybe the person making this has anxiety and depression, and so they want to make work about mental illnesses because the mental illnesses affect them. Then make work about anxiety and depression. Like no one is stopping you from doing that. You don't have to try and like go into all this other stuff. That's you. That you know about that. So I just don't understand why you would go beyond that. Because the issue with going beyond that is two main things. The first one is just about the pieces in general. If you have a piece of every mental illness, then not only will those be inaccurate portrayals of mental illness, but they'll also just be boring. Like, if you make one painting of like anxiety as a concept, I guarantee you, like, even I have seen that painting a million times before, done by like teenagers, done by adults too. Like, I saw one on TikTok where it was like a girl in a bubble and there were a bunch of eyes looking at her. And first of all, single eye drawings, don't get me started. Second of all, yeah, sure, that's anxiety. That's a one example of anxiety. Anxiety isn't even a mental illness. Generalized anxiety disorder is a mental illness. And then from there you have social anxiety and you have panic disorder. You have all of these things. To classify all of that is just so constricting. And that allows no room for your audience to like truly understand your work. Especially if you're someone with anxiety and you're doing a concentration about mental illness and you make one piece about anxiety, there's just like, if you're someone with anxiety, you know what that's like. Like you could make 15 works about that. Like I guarantee you could. I wouldn't though, because I'd draw this instead. But that's my point. It's like you could do this thing about something you know, but instead you're doing this other stuff. So brings my two other issues. One is when you make one work about this, not only does it like generalize an entire disorder, but like it's honestly it's stigmatizing it. Like it's worsening the stigma, because that's basically just painting a stereotype. Like everyone deals with mental illness differently. So if you do a painting of someone of a painting of schizophrenia and it's just someone like hearing voices, that's stereotyping. That's not everyone's experience with schizophrenia. Like everyone deals with this stuff differently. You can't do it all in one painting. Which brings me to my next point, which is if you don't have schizophrenia, don't do a pointing. If you don't have schizophrenia, don't do a pointing. If you don't have schizophrenia, don't do a painting about schizophrenia, okay? Because art is all about expressing yourself. And if that's not something you have to express, then why are you wasting your time making it? When an artist has this disconnect from their work, when they're just painting something that's just an abstract idea to them, or they've never known someone with schizophrenia, maybe they don't even know that much about schizophrenia, and you make a painting about it, that is just painting like a surface level thought of someone. And so this always goes back to just paint what you know. I know I'm saying painting, it's because I'm a painter. I'm talking about everything. Like, I'm talking about, I don't care if it's 3D, I don't care if it's photography, everything. If you make a painting about something you can't relate to, then you're not connected to that painting. And that disconnect, it's visible to people seeing that art. And I know when I'm looking at those TikToks and I'm looking at these people's concentrations of these paintings of all these mental illnesses, I can tell which ones that person has struggled with because they know what it's like. Like, there's more like depth to those images that deal with the illness they have struggled with. So why not expand on that? Why not focus on that? There's like, I've seen I know on the AP website I saw one like amazing concentration about depression, just like all these like many facets of it, like so many layers. Okay, depression isn't just like pretty girl crying, and that goes for any mental illness. If you have schizophrenia, by all means do a concentration, but do it about schizophrenia, not about dementia or about fucking anxiety, unless you have anxiety. I don't know, I don't care. And I'm not saying you have to have some revolutionary idea. I'm not saying I had a revolutionary idea. I just drew stuff about, like, my family. Anyone can do that. You just don't do the same as everyone else. Like, that was specific to me. This is something I care about. Like, make art about stuff you care about. I think that's just the bottom line. It's just make art about stuff you care about. And when people see that art, they'll care about it too. Choose something that you're passionate about, something specific to you, something where you can make art of things like that affect you. That's what art is for. It's for expressing like things about you. You don't have to choose this abstract like deep concept of mental illness as your concentration. You don't have to be afraid to make it specific to you. People want to see that. Like, one of my best paintings I made was a painting of my dad who like died like a long time ago. And that is like, everyone loves that painting, and it's not even that good. It's just because like there's just part of it, like just you can like feel it. Like, there's something in that painting that's different from my other ones. Like, you can just feel it. So just make stuff that's important to you, because I mean, humans have a sixth sense. They can see that, they can feel that. Anyways, I'm kind of just rambling at this point. Y'all get what I mean. Just do stuff that's important. If you stuck around to the end of this like kind of weirdly ranty video, thank you. Like and subscribe. Am I gonna post on this YouTube channel again in the next 5 months? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe if I get angry at something else. Leave a comment on your opinion. Let me know if you disagree with me. Like, actually, I would like to talk about it more, because I could talk about this all day, okay? That's why I made a YouTube video. I didn't want to annoy people in my real life. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.